Okay, so here's a brief review of what we've seen so far of Game of Thrones Season 6. This is a geek review, by the way, meaning that I absolutely love the season, and it's not about me being a blind idiot and not seeing its flaws or something. This is about me appreciating the show separately from the books, seeing it for what it is on its own once again, because I realized that as beautiful as the books are, they were actually killing my love for the show. I started reading the books after watching the first and second seasons, and those two seasons I absolutely loved. Now, the third season was kind of a downer, and the fourth season I thought was completely atrocious. And the fifth one I like reasonably well, which is a bad evaluation for a show of this stature. And now that I'm seeing the sixth season without knowing what's going to happen, without expecting to see the regular pattern of the show looking 300 times less epic than the books, I can once again appreciate it and love it for what it is. So it was the books all along. I was that annoying nerd that spoils the joy for everyone, and in the end, it's still harsh for me because now that we have the show, the books are going to be spoiled and showered with expectations in return. So it all comes to the question, which do you choose to experience raw and true, the books or the show? Which one of the two do you want to preserve for yourself? I was gonna go with the books, because ultimately they are the true story of Westeros. But on the other hand, I'm going through a shitty period of my life, as we all do unfortunately sometimes. And I need my nerd shrine to recharge me with will, so I didn't want to wait like 5 more years for the Winds of Winter. And I just can't. I need to dream and get inspired. So I chose to go along with the show. After all, the show's what first got me started on Westeros in a way. The show is the true story for me, kind of. I don't know. I'm very torn apart, but I need my daily dose of nerdgasms, so fuck it, I'm watching. Now, no more blabbing. Let's get to the point. I'm starting with the things I don't like, just to get them out of the way. And they're all kind of minor, like the usual atrocious acting of those bitches in Dorne and the primal stupidity with which their scenes are written. Other shit, but still made a little better now that we don't have a book. It kind of managed to shock me how they took over Dorne. Didn't really expect that. And then there are those issues of semantics, like Marcella's corpse in the sept looking pretty, but she died far back in Dorne, right? I bet they traveled like back to King's Landing for at least 10 days or something. I don't know. But isn't she supposed to be already kind of stinky? And then there's the Arya storyline. It's so boring and I just couldn't care less. I never cared in the books as well, and even more so in the show. I mean, how much philosophical grounds can you acquire by being beaten daily with a stick and being asked the same stupid question like 20 times a day? Who are you? I don't care who the fuck she is, whatever. Then Daenerys. Jesus fuck, Emilia Clarke is one of the worst actresses I've ever seen. And I know that she's beautiful and shit. I get why the fans go batshit crazy about her when she uses her painfully fake Dothraki accent. I get it, she's hot, but I choose brains over testicles, and she's a fucking terrible actress. I don't give a shit about her, much less about that weird love triangle they're playing out with her. That Dario is so stupid and cheesy, and I'm so sick of Jorah. What was the last thing we saw with them? Oh yeah, how she burned the Dosh Khaleen. Can you please explain to me how you can overthrow a fucking temple full of hostile savages with just a few pushes of, I don't know, some fucking matchsticks or torches or whatever? Oh, this scene was pretty stupid, and again, I felt at least a little bit of the old epicness just because I haven't read the book. Moving on to the next thing, I didn't like Jon fucking Snow. He should have just stayed dead, and if it were so fucking necessary to bring him back, then do it fucking slower, more natural, more effectual. I mean, what the fuck was that? She washed his hair and he came back to life? That's just plain old fantasy, and I'm no fan of Robert Jordan. Jesus fuck, I meant for this to be very brief. Whatever. Here's what I love about the season. King's Landing, the Lannisters and Tyrells, the whole deal with the Sparrow and the Mountain, I think they're representing it perfectly. Like, Cersei's having her lifetime revelation that she has to finally start working with others and not try to fuck them up. I expected this was coming, and I was not disappointed with how they portrayed it. Lena Headey is an amazing actress. To me, she is Cersei. Her chemistry with Tommen and Olenna and Qyburn is simply spot on. Even more so with the Sparrow in the previous season. Just so fucking wonderful. Only thing annoying is now I'm noticing Jaime Lannister's fake British accent and his slight overacting at times, but he's still fine in comparison with Emilia Clarke. Yeah, I love Marjorie and Loras, their portrayal of power and weakness from the same blood, and the reversal of power of gender, how Loras is the one who's completely given up, and Marjorie could still eat a fucking person. I just love everything about King's Landing. Favorite things, the first scene between Jaime and Cersei when she says she doesn't know where Marcella sprung from, being so good and innocent in comparison with her vicious bitch of a mom. I was kind of tearing up during that scene, so yeah, you can imagine. So, what's left? Oh, Marine, yeah, I don't give a fuck about all of that, and Peter Dinklage annoys me so much. Yeah, I don't understand how people praise him over Lena Headey. But that probably has something to do with the fact that even Book Tyrion annoyed the fuck out of me with all the supposedly witty, but actually very dumb jokes. I don't know, sometimes I really don't understand the masses, but hey, that's why I call them the masses. Spoken like a true Lannister. What else? Sansa, she's just fine for me. I enjoyed her reconciliation with Theon in the snow. It was a touching scene, and when she finally met Jon, it made me joke a little. And yeah, I think that's about it. Like, I can't think of anything else that specific, probably because it wasn't that memorable to me. All the Ramsay stuff, yeah, it's overblown and mainstream, nothing interesting. Sam and Gilly, Jesus fuck, I do not care about these two. I don't know, now that I think about it, it looks like it's all about the Lannisters and Tyrells for me. I don't really care so much about the rest. But now that we don't have books and so high standards, I can enjoy the whole show with all the generic TV crap, but still enjoy it much more than I did the fourth season, which I completely hated. So this was my brief review of almost the entire first half of the season. Jesus fuck, when did it start? When did it pass by? Whatever. That's my review. On the next clip, I'm gonna be continuing my review of Rome, which is the primary purpose of this channel for the time being. So stay tuned and thanks for watching. That was Chris and Holy Retardation.